إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن الأصدق الكلام كلام الله والخير الحديث حدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار وبعد عباد الله إخوان في الله. Today we will talk about a tremendous nasiha that our messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave to one of his companions, to Abu Dharr radiyallahu ta'ala an. This hadith has been narrated by Al-Imam Ahmad in his Musnad and likewise Al-Bayhaqi, and Shaykh Albani rahimullah ta'ala likewise has mentioned it in his Silsilat al-Sahiha. So Shaykh Albani likewise authenticates this narration and this tremendous hadith. In it is an advice to the whole of the ummah, even though it was directed to Abu Dharr. وعن أبي ذر رضي الله تعالى عنه قال أمرني الخليل بسبع. Abu Dharr, he says, Al-Khalili, my beloved, to indicate the closeness, he commanded me with 7 things. So we will mention this hadith and we will mention the ta'liqat of our Sheikh Zayd ibn Muhammad ad-Madkhali rahimullah, his commentary notes regarding this hadith. The first thing that companion, he said, Amarani bihubbi al-masakin wa-danu minhum. The first advice the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave, he said to me that I should love the masakin, I should love the poor people, and I should be near to them. This was the first advice the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam he gave. Shaykh Zayd rahimullah, he says, huwa tawjih lil umma kulliha. This is a direction and an advice to all of the ummah. Not only to Abu Dharr, it is applicable to every one of us that we should love the poor people and we should be close to the poor people. Shaykh Zayd, he also says that حُبُّهُمْ وَأَطْفَأُمْ مِنْ صِفَاتٍ مِنْ أَهْلِ الْإِيمَانِ. To have love for the poor people and to be kind to the poor people is indeed the attributes of the people of Iman, the people of faith. And it is that Allah Azza wa Jal awdha fihim min al-rahmah. Allah Azza wa Jal has placed that rahmah in their hearts for them to love the poor people and to be merciful to them. And all of this ibtigha mardatillahi Azza wa Jal. And that is all seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and likewise having ta'awan ala al-birri wa taqwa. So that is the first one. Memorize them, my brothers. For verily it is a khitab. It is an advice that has come from our messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The second one, he said, Abu Dharr, Amarani an anzura ila man huwa duni wala anzuru ila man huwa fawqi. The second one, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam commanded me to look to those who are less fortunate than me, whether in status or whether it will be in wealth. وَلَا أَنظُرْ إِلَى مَنْ هُوَ فَوْقِي. And do not look to the ones who are higher than you, either by way of their wealth and their status. Look to the ones that has less than you. أَمَرَ لِلْعُمَّةِ بِمَا يَرْفَعُ قَدْرَهُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. The Shaykh, he says, verily the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam commanded his ummah with that which will raise their ranks with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is that you look to those who are less than you and not to the ones who are above you. And that is all because so then you can be appreciative of what Allah Azza wa Jal has given you. When you see those who are less fortunate, they don't have the wealth which you have. They don't have the stability or the position that you have. When you see that, then it makes you reflect. Acting upon the hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam when he said, "Unzuru ila man huwa asfalakum." Look to see those who are lower than you in another narration. And do not look to those who are above you. For verily, that will make you belittle what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. And likewise, it will make you thankful servants. When you see what you have and others don't have what you have, then it will make you be thankful to what Allah Azza wa Jal has given you. The third thing, what he said that he commanded me with, he said, وَأَمَرْنِي أَنْ أَصِلَ الرَّحِمِ وَإِنْ أَدْبَرَتْ. The third thing, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, commanded me to keep the ties of kingship, family ties. Keep close ties with family, even if they cut off ties with you. You see what our Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam advised. فَصِلَتُهُمْ مِنَ الْإِبَادَاتِ وَمِنْ حُسْنِ الْأَخْلَاقِ وَمِنَ الْبِرِّ الَّذِي يَرْفَعُ اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ الْعَبْدَ دَرَجَاتُهُ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْبَرْزَقِ وَالْآخِرَةِ. The Shaykh, he said that verily keeping family ties, this is a form of worship. It is the ibadah of Allah Azza wa Jal. So when you humble yourself, when your own family members are cutting you off, keep your family ties. Keep the family ties. For verily it is from ibadah. The Shaykh, he said, وَالْحُسْنُ الْأَخْلَاقِ. And it is from good mannerisms. And it is from piety to do this. And it is something that Allah Azza wa Jal will raise his slaves in this life and in the barzakh and likewise in the akhirah. Also the Shaykh, he said, وَيَكُونُ سَبَبًا فِي سِعَةِ الرِّزْقِ وَطُولِ الْأَجَلِ كَمَا ثَبَتَ فِي حَدِيثِ النَّبِيِّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ. Likewise, when you keep those ties with your family, which is established in the hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, it is a form to gain your rizq. That rizq, if you want to increase in your rizq, then keep family ties. That is a nas sari, a textual evidence which is clear. The Messenger said, the one that wishes for his rizq to increase, for his sustenance to increase, and the one who wishes to prolong his life, then let he keep family ties. So the maslaha and the benefit naturally returns to yourself. And the fourth thing, the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam commanded Abu Dharr with, he said, "Amarani an la as'al ahadan shay'a." And he commanded me not to ask of anybody. Do not ask anything of anybody. The Shaykh, he said, "La qalilan wa la kathira." Not a small or not even in large amounts. Tahqiqan, istighna an amwali nas wa ma indahum wa musa'adatihim hasab at-taqa. Refraining from what the people have and what they possess. Being self-sufficient, naturally according to your ability. And there is a hadith that also indicates this principle as well. Another hadith where the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, "Sharf al-mu'min qiyamuhu bil-layl." The nobility of a believer is him standing in the night prayer. Wa izzatuhu istighna'uhu 'anil nas wa fi aydi nas fi riwaya. And his honor is that he refrains from what the people possess, not wanting it. This is how honor comes. However, the Shaykh, he said, وَلَكِنْ هَذَا لَا يَنْفِي مَنْ أَحْتَاجْ إِلَى مُسَاعَدَةٍ ضَرُورِيَّةٍ. This does not negate the fact that if someone is in desperate need, that if he seeks help or aid or shafa'a, intercession through another individual to aid him, فَلَا حَرَجْ. There is no problem, وَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. And there is no sin in him doing that. وصلى الله وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له إقرارا به وتوحيدا وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم تسليما مزيدا. أما بعد. And to continue with this tremendous advice our Messenger Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave to that companion which came to this ummah, that we must all try to understand and act upon it. For verily whatever the Messenger gives us is good for us in our deen, in our dunya, and likewise the akhirah. So the fifth one, he said, وَأَمَرَنِي أَنْ أَقُولَ بِالْحَقِّ وَإِنْ كَانَ مُرًّا. Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam commanded me to always speak the truth, even if it is bitter. Even if it is bitter. Al-haq huwa diddul batil. The truth is opposite to falsehood and batil. وَأَوْجَبَ عَلَى الْمُسْلِمِ أَنْ يُقُولَ الْحَقِّ وَلَوْ كَانَ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ أَوْ عَلَى قَرِيبِهِ. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam has commanded us to always speak the truth, even if that truth is against us. Because in actuality, it will be good for you if you speak the truth. Even if it is your close ones and your loved ones, we have been commanded to speak the truth. And then the Shaykh, he explains and he says, فَإِنَّ الْحَقَّ أَحَقُّ أَن يُقَالَ. For verily the truth is deserving to be uttered. وَأَحَقُّ أَن يُتَّبَعَ. And it is deserving to be followed, the truth. وَأَحَقُّ أَن يَعْمَلَ بِهِ الْعَامِلُونَ. And if you are going to act upon anything, then you must act upon the truth. The sixth advice that he gave, وَأَمَرَنِي أَن لَا أَخَافِ اللَّهِ لَوْمَةَ اللَّائِمِ. The next one, number 6, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam commanded that when it comes to the path of Allah Azza wa Jal, then do not fear. When you're on the path of Allah Azza wa Jal, do not fear the blame of the blamers. Speak the haqq and be upon the truth. Do not fear the blame of the blamers. The Shaykh, he said, ذَلِكَ بِأَمْرِ بَيَانَ الْحَقِّ. And how do we do that? By making the truth manifest. We make the truth manifest out to the people to know. وَرَدُّ الْبَاطِلِ. And you refute the falsehood. مِنَ الشِّرْكٍ وَبِدَعَةٍ وَنَحْوِ ذَلِكَ. You refute the batil. وَالْفَسَادِ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ. Whether it will be with shirk, whether it will be with innovations, whether it will be corruption upon the earth, then you refute that and you make that manifest and you remain steadfast on your deen, regardless of what people may say and blame you for. If it's Quran and if it's Sunnah and if it's upon the understanding of the Salaf and it is haqq, then live that way and be that way, regardless what the people they utter. And also, when you refute the batil, obviously ala qudratikum, that is according to your ability. Do not enter in areas that you do not have the ability and cause a bigger fasad. Obviously, with the ability that you have by way of your ma'rifah of the deen of Islam of Allah Azza wa Jal. Finally, the last one, وَأَمَرَنِي أَنْ أَكْثِرَ مِنْ قَوْلٍ لَا حَوْلَ وَلَا قُوَّةَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. And finally, the last one, he commanded me to increase in that statement of saying لَا حَوْلَ وَلَا قُوَّةَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. And then he explained why. The Shaykh, he says that the illa, the reason of why we have to increase in this, was made manifest in the hadith. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, فَإِنَّهُ مِنْ كَنْزِ تَحْتَ الْأَرْشِ. For verily, this wording, it is from the treasures that is under the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَفِي رِوَايَةٌ كَنْزِ مِنْ كُنُوزِ الْجَنَّةِ. And in another narration, it mentions that it is the treasure from the treasures of paradise. So we should increase in that. And the Shaykh, he said, وَهَذَا الْعَمَلُ الْقَلِيلِ يَتَرَتَّبَ عَلَيْهِ ثَوَابَ كَثِيرٌ. And these are from the affairs of our religion, that the action is small, but the reward is vast. So may Allah Azza wa Jal make us from those that understand, and after understanding and comprehending, we can act upon these words of our noble messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, live by it and die upon it. Ameen. Wa sallallahu wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een.